what we were told.
Yes, sure, sure.
So, sir, we were told to take up any product from the defense industry or a certain category in among all the three domains, Air Force, Navy or Army. So we took nuclear submarines from the Navy, and we were told to do the research and present our data or present our findings in a structured manner. So a certain structure was given by sir. So we had to find out the current capability, where we want to go, current capability, and where we want our future aspiration. So the resources we have currently, the collaborations that we have currently, and what could be done, and leveraging existing networks. What all networks could be used to leverage to increase our capability, like IITs and research institutes, R&D institutes. So what all networks we could use, process plan, the process plan which we will use to acquire our objectives or attain our goals, and the links through which we got all the information. So we had to present our findings through this structure. So considering this structure, we did brainstorming, and the purpose of this project was to use the digital transformation session, that is the using different digital tools and platforms to accelerate our working, the way we work and the way we present. So we brainstormed as per this structure and created certain pointers through which we should do our research, and based on that we fed those pointers in the AI tool, and to also improve the current scenario, like all that happened within a year, like the articles in the Indian Express, the editorials written by experts, economy experts, people who are great in the defense industry. So all those articles we gathered together, and we also fed that article in the AI platform, and we generated all the necessary information, and based on that we got to know about our history, our current scenario, the future which we're looking for, and based on different parameters, all those experts and the current information, whether we'll be able to achieve that goals or not. So we, due to interest of time, we got to know only the bird eye view of the situation, and so therefore we'll be able to present, we won't be able to go much into detail, but we'll be able to present the bird eye view. So I would first begin by giving the overview of nuclear submarine. So nuclear submarine is something that is powered by nuclear reactors. Like in conventional submarines, it is powered by diesel. So simple diesel works as a fuel, and once the diesel is about to get over, it has to come on the surface to refill. But in nuclear submarines, this is not the case. In nuclear submarines, it works. The nuclear reactors does a chain reaction. It creates a chain reaction, and through that chain reaction, it creates heat, and through that heat, it gives the power to the submarine. So this allows the submarine to be underwater for a long period of time. So that is the difference between a conventional and a nuclear submarine. And therefore the second point is the endurance underwater as compared to the conventional submarine. It can be longer. It can stay for a longer period of time underwater. And the stealth and the ballistic missile capability. It can ensure stealth because it doesn't comes on the surface more frequently. So it stays underwater. And ballistic missile, it can also accommodate ballistic missiles. And then there is, I'll talk about current capability. Currently we have only two nuclear submarines. One is INS Arihant, which was the first nuclear submarine we inducted and we commissioned in 2016. And INS Arihant, this was recently in the news. Previous month, it was inducted in the Army, in the Navy, INS Arihant, which has a better propulsion power and better stealth capability than INS Arihant. Then moving on to the key developments. So these key developments, it enabled us to it triggered us to improve our arsenal, our nuclear submarine arsenal, and also it supports us, it will support us to improve our nuclear submarine capability. So So external factors are the one which actually triggered, which is making us to increase our arsenal. One is the Indo-Pacific power. As you can see, I'm sorry I don't have a demonstration of the Indian map. As we see in Indian map, it is surrounded by 3 oceans below. So it has a very huge coverage of ocean below our country. So around 84% of the trade comes through the sea. So the Indo-Pacific, we need to ensure our power in the Indo-Pacific. So therefore, it becomes imperative for us to increase our naval capability. And capability at Vizag and HSL. We already have nuclear submarine building capacity at Vizag and HSL. Can somebody please help me with the full form of HSL? Hindustan Shipyard Limited. So these two are the builders which can work on building these submarines. And next would be covered by Kunal. Over to you, Kunal.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, class. So I'm going to talk about the budget allocation, which is given by Indian government for the submarine production. And before that, I want to give you a detail about the market size of nuclear vessels. So globally, the market size of nuclear vessels is increased by $12.44 billion. It is increased by 8% CAGR. And the budget allocation by Indian government for the submarine production is around 5.93 trillion INR, which is $72.9 billion. And also the budget allocated to the INS area is around $90 billion, and we invest huge on R&D, which is almost around 150 billion. So if I talk about human capital, we need Indianization and modernization. So we have to collaborate with the nuclear engineers from IITs, some people from DRC, DRDO, to fulfill our goal of Indianization and modernization. If I about raw material, then we are developing some of the raw material indigenously, which is the nuclear grade steel, and also some sonars and sonar sensors also. So now the next part about the project plan is on to you.
So as my earlier member discussed that if I compare India is very low. See India, it's just two, INS Arihant and INS Arihant. And I also read in 2 days back, 30 August, there is a news in Hindu newspaper that INS Aridhaman is one of the next new nuclear submarine going to be introduced by India within 1 year. They are taking. So for the action plan, government actually there is a 3 type of project plan: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. In phase 1, government expanded the collaborations with Russia, as Russia is one of the biggest exporter in the arms and other sector in defense. So government will expand his collaboration with Russia by 2026. And the second plan is complete indigenous design by 2030. And the third plan is government commission 6 new submarines by 2035. And then the second supervisory network, IITs and IISCs, basically IITs, NITs and IISCs, those 3 institutes are planning for the introducing AI in submarines, and the propulsion part they are going to develop. And then comes to DRDO and BRC, they are actually develop the design. So the next thing is collaboration, public and private. If you do some great things, you have to collaborate with the private things. As of now, Tata. So government will collaborate with those big players to develop the submarine. And when it comes to future designs, can we achieve it? As per the Atmanirbhar Bharat, government are completely planning to achieve that view by 2030. And as per my view and as per my previous view, yeah, we can absolutely achieve it. So that's it. Thank you.
Some of the points I missed, can I please copy?
Yes.
I was talking about two factors that led to the need to increase our submarine arsenal. So one factor was the external factor, where I talked about Indo-Pacific, the need to increase our power, as 84% of our trade depends on the ocean, comes through ocean route. The second aspect was the geopolitical tension. As we can see, what's happening in the Red Sea, there are attacks from the Houthis, and there are civilian pirates, and a lot of geopolitical tensions that impact our trade. It impacts our trade route. So it becomes important to increase our naval power. And there is China's naval expansion as well. The scene it is creating in the South China Sea, the problem it is creating to the Philippines and other countries like Taiwan, and it is doing its territorial claim campaigns. So these situations are actually triggering us to focus more on increasing our naval capability. And there are internal factors that will enhance to do so, and that is Make in India initiative. A lot of initiatives are being done by the government, emphasizing on indigenization of production. And as I also told about the capability of WISAC and HSC.
Yeah, perfect. I think you explained the problem statement very well. Absolute clarity on that. Did not you make any study about the competitors or what is the global scenario in this submarine?
So there is a global players which are from US.
So we have made a chart. I got a picture.
But you didn't explain.
Yes.
He slightly explained. Yes.
US is having 66 nuclear submarines. Second is Russia. Second is Russia, that is 31. Third is China. So we are on the 6th position. So we are only having 2 nuclear submarines.
But there is a very huge gap between first and sixth.
Right.
They have 66, we have only 2.
And what about the manufacturing capability, global scenario on that?
So about manufacturing capability, there is a company in the US. There are 2 companies in the US. I forgot the name. So they are in making of nuclear vessels. One is Bay System.
So why we can't have Indian company making nuclear submarines here?
So we can have. So as I told, we already have 2 manufacturers. One is at the WISAC and the Hindustan Shipyard.
Both are government.
Yes, and private companies are encouraged like L&T.
So they are just taking
we are
right
like,
now. They are just taking a contest. Government are in a public-private partnership.
So we have followed strategic partnership model
Indian defense industry is just taking in a private.
to collaborate with them and to increase our capability of manufacturing.
so even private companies are working on their capacity. Like L&T is working right now, and it will be building some small submarines, and later on I think it will be going for nuclear submarines.
So what difficulty you think a private player will face, or what with respect to any, suppose, a small arms factory? If a private player has to place a small arms factory compared to this submarine factory, what do you think is the difficulty faced by it?
So
How
if-
difficult it is as compared to that?
So if a private player only wants to come into a small arms business and it's not doing any other business, then it will be difficult for that company, because it is a capital intensive industry. It requires huge amount of capital. But companies who already have their capability, like Tata Group, L&T, Adani, so these have multiple portfolios, multiple businesses. So they could use their own capital. Like right now, Tata and L&T, they are not listed. They are not in the open market right now. So they are using their own capital. So they are their defense domain is the subsidiary of their own group. So they are using their own capital, and that is the way they could enter into such.
Now you asked when you compare submarine factories and submarine manufacturing as compared with small arms manufacturing unit. So how difficult it is to put up a submarine manufacturer as compared to a small arms, putting up a new small arms manufacturing unit?
So boss,
Or both are
you
of
can
the
set
same?
up, you can set up the manufacturing the plant anywhere in India. But for submarine, you need to around the sea somewhere. So it's difficult for private player to have a land near sea or to land on any island to build a manufacturing capability. So there are some
So
policies.
do you find any difference in regulatory guidelines or regulatory requirements?
So regulatory guidelines, I think it has been eased now.
No, as compared to again, whatever I am talking about manufacturing of submarine as compared to other defense, small arms or ammunition or anything. So do you find the regulatory environment is same for both?
Sir, we need to do some detailed research.
Okay. One small feedback, okay, that is fine. One small feedback for you, whenever you say, when you are talking about the importance of naval routes, Indo-Pacific and all, so whenever you refer that India is surrounded by sea at the downside, or India is having Himalayas at the top, so it's not top and down, it's south and north, right? So always use that, right? You should say Himalayas is at the north of the Indian landmass, or the sea is at the south. It's not top and down, right? Okay, I think fine.
Thank you.
Perfect.